What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Jerome, and we are back with the Real Housewives of Atlanta review. This is season 11. This is episode number 14, and this episode was titled Lost in Translation. So, without further ado, let's get started with the video. Alright, so before I even get started with the video, I do want to say to everybody, if you have not watched Celebrity Big Brother, you guys missed out on a really good season. It's been enjoyable so far. You know, when I found out that Candy and Tamar were both, cast to be on, I was like, why? But they have actually been thoroughly entertaining. I will say that much. And also, if you guys are not aware, when it comes to Celebrity Big Brother, so Wednesday is going to be the live finale. And in the finale right now, we have 5 people up in the house. It's Tamar, it's Candy, it's a football player by the name of Ricky Williams, the Olympic athlete Lolo Jones, and Dina Lohan, Lindsay Lohan's mom. So before I even start with the video, I just wanted to say that, you know, if you guys, you can't watch the live feeds. Actually, you can, because there's a rewind button on the live feeds. Now, Big Brother After Dark, you can't rewatch that unless you recorded it. You can go to cbs.com and catch up on, you know, the episodes from beginning to current. You can also, there is a America's Favorite House Guest. So America's Favorite House Guest will win $25,000. So voting's open from, I think, Friday up until, 9 a.m. On Wednesday morning before the finale. So you guys go vote. If you like Candy that much, go vote for her to win $25,000. I'm not sure if Candy's gonna win Big Brother, but just vote for her, or even Tamar to be America's Favorite House Guest. So with that said, with all that being said, we're gonna go ahead and just jump into the episode. So the episode, it starts up and we're still in Tokyo. So we see Portia. Portia was getting her day started, and then someone came to her door with some flowers for her, and they're from Dennis. And then she calls Dennis on FaceTime. They have a conversation with one another, yada yada yada. So then we see Tanya. So she's in her room and she's setting up this bachelorette party for Eva. So we see Shamari show up. We see Candy show up in some grandma pajamas. We see Cynthia show up, Marlo, Portia. We see everybody show up, and then we see Nene show up. When Nene got there, Nene had a stank ass attitude, and I'm like, Tanya has not, because in her interview she was talking about the whole shit that's happened with Tanya, and I'm just like, but Tanya hadn't done anything to you, so I don't really understand why you got this stank ass attitude. Now, like I said before, Candy showed up in grandma PJs. So I guess the thing was, sexy pajamas or lingerie. So I'm guessing Candy missed the memo because everybody else had on some. I didn't really catch what Shamari had on, but that's neither here nor there. So at this thing, they actually got some real food, well, some Americanized food, I would say. So when before Nene and everybody got there, before Nene and I think Marlo got there, Portia was talking about things between her and Dennis. How Dennis told Paul, Tanya's man, that she was pregnant and that they were getting married. And they're like, so you getting married? And she's like, well, we went and looked for rings, but we ain't really said nothing about marriage at this point. Now, when I said Nene showed up 30 minutes, almost 30 minutes late with that stank ass attitude. And when Tanya got ready to start the party, she was a little extra, and I'm like, okay, it's a bachelorette party. She's trying to have fun. She's trying to liven it up. Now, her idea of fun was a little fucking boring, because she had a Japanese stripper. So the stripper comes out and he starts dancing, and I'm with Cynthia. Like, if Tanya spent some good money on him, I would ask for a fucking refund, because I don't know what the fuck that stripper was doing, but yeah. Yeah, y'all could have killed that, because I'm just like, really? What the fuck is... I'm like, oh, that what they do in Japan? I'm like, yep, keep it. Because it was really boring. And that's me, and I'm saying that, like, I thought it was boring. It's not what I would expect from a women's or a man's, bachelor or bachelorette party with a stripper. Like, no. So then, Tanya has this idea for a game. And speaking of the stripper, he took off whatever that weird thing was that's around him, although it got stuck in his ass. And then, he kept on his socks. I'm like, really? He must have fucked up feet. So, Tanya has this thing, a Harajuku game, where they were going to dress up, and nobody was really here for it. And once again, Nene still had this stank ass look on her face. So then Portia goes and gets some of the pickles, and, her idea was to drop the pickles in, respective girls' mouths, and nobody was for that. So then Candy comes up with the idea, why don't you guys take the pickle and, one person pretend like they the dude and, just show them what your favorite move is. So Eva and Cynthia showed everybody what their respective moves were. I'm like, of all the people, we picked Eva and Cynthia. The two, especially Cynthia, the biggest prude on the show. But okay, they have fun. And Nene finally livened up. I'm like, damn, it took for Portia to pull out a pickle for you to have fun. So then once that all ended, the girls, they decided at midnight to go to the club. Now, I remember seeing on the blogs when they went to the club, I saw the pictures and some of the videos. Like they had a good fucking time. So, then after the club, we see Marlo outside of her room, and she couldn't get in her room. And I think the people were questioning if she was the person supposed to be in their room. And she was like, I had this hat on earlier. Do you remember me? He said, no. I'm like, oh shit, here we go with Marlo. All right, so then we go on to day 4. So day 4, it starts out, we see Nene. She's in her hotel room, and she's talking to Greg on the phone. And she's telling Greg how since she's been in Japan, she hasn't had a good time because of the stuff that's going on between he and her. And Greg does apologize to Nene, and I understand where she's coming from, but I think her frustration, she's taking it out on the wrong people. What she should have done was, you friends with Cynthia, you friends with Portia, you friends with Eva, you friends with all the girls. Instead of you blowing up on Tanya, you could have just pulled at least Cynthia or Marlo to the side and be like, you know what, me and Greg, we got into it, yada yada yada, and I'm just not having a good time right now. And you could have actually vocalized that to all the girls, even Tanya herself. You could have vocalized that to every one of the girls, but instead you picked Tanya and you went off on her, which I thought was wrong. So then Cynthia comes Cynthia comes down there and checks on her. Cynthia didn't go out the night before because Cynthia went to her room and went to sleep. And, Nene's just telling Cynthia how she's feeling. And at this point, that's when the walls just came down and she just broke down. And I'm like, finally, that's all you needed to do was just tell somebody what's going on with you, how you feel. There's nothing wrong with feeling, am I strong enough to deal with the stuff that Greg is going through? That's human. But for you to take it out on other people, it's not right. So I'm so glad that she finally just let it all out and let Cynthia hear what she had to say. I was here for that. All right, so also part of the day for the girls, they went to a samurai class or something like that. And the samurai masters, I guess that's what you call. I forget what you call them. I think they're masters. I have to go look at my Power Rangers Samurai and see what they're called. Yep, I watch Power Rangers. Moving on from that. So, we see the girls, they give them the wooden swords, which is what they usually use when they practice. I know that much. So, they split up into groups. I know Tanya and Marlo. No, it was Shamari and Tanya. It was Eva and Portia. It was Marlo and Candy. And it was Cynthia and Eva. So they all, they had a good time with each other. And, one of them would win and the other one would die, basically. So they had a great time with it. Marlo in her interview talking about, I've dealt with knives before. We know, not Candy. Kenya told us last season at the reunion when you cut the girl's face up, but that's neither here nor there. So then, after everything has settled down, Eva, she goes over to Nene's room, and I guess he was just checking up on Nene, but then somebody knocked at the door, And I guess it was the hotel staff. They came in there with a big, beautiful bouquet of flowers. So, they put the flowers down, and then there's a card with the flowers. So Nene opens the card, and she just breaks down, starts crying. So, Eva's there trying to console her, and she said, "Can I read the card?" So then Eva reads the card out loud, and it was a sweet card from Greg. And Greg was just telling Nene that he apologizes. He wants to get back on track with them. And I was like, oh, that is so sweet. And it was nice to, it's nice to see her just let her walls down. Like it is. It really is nice to just see that, instead of seeing this, this hard, cold, stoic bitch that she always tries to portray herself as. It was just nice to see a softer side of her. So we're gonna move on. All right, and then lastly, we have night 4. So the girls go out to dinner. When they get there, Eva wants to thank all the girls for, coming out. She's talking about how everything that's going on with her, her highs, her lows, which her high is, having her baby, her getting married, and her low is her grandfather. So then she says, you know what, let's all go around the room and talk about what our highs and our lows are. So then we start with Cynthia. So Cynthia's high is Mike Hill. Her low is when Noelle went to college. Then Candy, her low is, well, I'm gonna start with the highs and lows. So Candy's high is business is good, but her low is trying to juggle how to be, super mom and also do her businesses as well. Portia, she's not feeding into the lows, so she has no lows. Her high is, having her baby, Dennis, and the way he treats her and the way he makes her feel. Now, while Portia is talking about Dennis, Candy says, you know what, I got something to say. And I'm like, oh shit, Candy, what do you have to say? So Candy does apologize to Portia because she's like, listening to the way you're talking about Dennis, that's the way she feels about Todd, and that's the way she feels about Todd when people trying to say that Todd was using her for a come up, he was an opportunist. And, she also said that Todd had a past before her, so she was wrong for what she said. And, she breaks down crying. And she apologizes to Portia because she's like, Dennis has been nothing but nice to me. And I felt like, well, damn, he been nice to me. And I'm sitting here talking shit about him. Thank you, Candy. Like, this is what we've said all season long. And that she finally got it. Like, he has a past. You have a past. Todd has a past. Portia has a past. I have a past. Everybody has a fucking past. Like, that doesn't mean very much of anything. And then, Portia's like, you know what, Candy, let's go from going forward now. Why don't, when something bothers both of us, why don't we just bring it to the other person instead of talking to other people? I hope that they can do that. I hope Candy, more so than anybody, can do that. Because I don't want to see Candy coming on camera with the candy-coated click talking about Portia. I do not want to see that shit. I hate when she comes on camera with the candy-coated click talking shit about anybody. And then I know that there is talks about Kenya and Phaedra returning for season 12. That's going to be a shit show if it happens. Oh my God, that's going to be so interesting. Because season 12. Because it's all this stuff happened on season 9. So 9. Ooh. It's going to be a shit show if that happens. So then Shamari, she goes, and I couldn't make heads or tails of what her high and low was. But I know she was talking about her kids and her music. That was all I gathered from hers. And then, Nene says, well, you all know what my low is. It's the situation that's going on with Greg. And there's more to it, but she just doesn't want to tell the girls right now. So that was the episode. And they did show the trailer for what's still to come on the season. I'm not going to talk about that because that we all know that with the power of editing, they can make things look one way versus looking at another way. And what I'm talking about is the whole thing with Nene and the camera crew and Marlo. I'm going to reserve that until we get to that episode. So until then, like the video, leave your comments, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys tomorrow for Love and Hip Hop New York and Miami.